continuo aqui com a Avowed. Primeira partida depois do acesso antecipado. Tô transmitindo na Twitch, viu? Pega, eu coloquei. Só que você tem que autorizar. Autoriza lá. Não fala, porque ele ainda tá banindo ainda. Vamos ver essa arma.
Not bad, Marius.
Tá, vou... Vou pegar essa missão aqui. Uma missão secundária. Por aqui. O que eu achei estranho é que não dá pra você marcar as coisas aqui. Pra você ir. Ele morreu. Não, você não, quando acabar a batalha ele ressuscita automaticamente.
Finally, another customer. Come in.
Então,
Oh, it's you.
opa, poção de vida. Poção de vida nunca é demais.
Back again? We've got Eric if you want to have a good time, or there's Wait Yennefer if you want to forget your name. And there's Worth an Egg, but you don't want that. That's what I give to the rude patrons. They can have the stronger stuff when they're nice to me. Like a charm. You ever want to see a smuggler bow and scrape? Come by when it's more crowded.
Já peguei tudo já. A missão é por aqui.
Bring my flute up here sometimes. It's nice and quiet at night.
Tá dentro de onde?
Cheap wares for cheap folks.
Ah, acho que é ele.
Welcome back. I'm sure I have exactly what you're looking for. The envoy from Adir, perhaps? There's a buzz anytime someone from the Empire arrives on these shores. You'll get no trouble from me, though the Adirans tend to do their shopping within the walls for whatever reason.
Calma aí, que eu preciso disso. Poção de essência. Pedaço de ferro nunca é demais. Você pode diminuir. Ou diminuir. É.
Welcome back. No one tops my prices, guaranteed.
Meu, cadê essa missão? Era pra ser por aqui.
Supplies you need.
Careful. Some people have fallen down these stairs. Not me, mind.
Cheap wares for cheap folks.
Tem coisa aqui embaixo.
No offense meant,
Achei.
but I need to keep this area clear. Please step away. If you must know, I am searching for an item of great import. Life and death, you might say, if you ask my wife. I seem to have lost my wedding ring down the latrine. It simply must be around here somewhere. Oh, I would be forever grateful if you found and returned my ring. You would save me from a night in the shed. For sure.
Oi? É. Mas tem que estar baixado.
Ah, there you are. Have you found my ring, perhaps? Indeed, that's the one. Please, give it to me. Pirates and mercenaries, all. Fine. Here's what I can spare. In return for the ring, which belongs to me, I might add. Thank you ever so much. Take these coins and may the gods watch over you.
Não, não era essa, mas...
Supplies you need for prices you can afford.
Vou lá pros faixa amarela. Primeiro vamos ali no mapeando Terras Férteis.
Reminds me of the Rowatine Navy's punishment for desertion.
What is it?
We will be watching.
Vamos para Parades.
Why was I hoping there'd be more fanfare passing through?
Que nível que você tá?
With all due respect, Captain, you have no jurisdiction over the Paradise Militia.
Your people have no business being here.
I understand. You can't just march up to the gate and order the soldiers around.
Não, pra isso aí você tem que ter skill. É a skill que elimina o debuff. Entendeu?
That's Sansa's shop. Might be worth taking a look.
Welcome, welcome! I was hoping you would drop in. You're back! What have you found?
Vou pegar a Adra. A Adra é importante.
You're back! What have you found? I warned Kirmund about those Zaribs. It was Zaribs, wasn't it? Oh, on second thought, don't tell me. Please, keep searching. I'm sure the others will turn up soon. Have you been to the bathhouse? I'm too busy myself, but I'm told it's a taste of old Spirento.
Opa, tomo aqui. Terminei essa missão. Não usa flecha. Não. Não usa. Você pode reparar que a flecha é um poder. Não gasta, mas é um poderzinho. pro... Nem eu. Vou pro acampamento que tem que melhorar as coisas aqui. Ah, é. Tem muita coisa aqui. Aê.
Fior Messiverno, huh? Guess if you're looking for an animant, take everything you know about forests and make it 100 times more aggressive. I've led a few people there from Paradise or Thirdborn, and I've almost lost someone on every trip.
Someone's slipping.
I said almost. Of course I can. You're stronger than the typical explorer, and Kai, well, he's got us.
Just remember that the next time I draw fire away from you two.
Right, changing the subject. Ask away. Yes, I did. The less we talk about that, the better. No, I really don't. I won't ask what herbs you ingest before the gods start talking to you, and you don't ask me questions about my past. Now, we just met, Envoy, and I'm here to do a job. Maybe we'll be best of friends someday, but this isn't that day. Best we just keep things professional. Same one you are. What kind of blessed question is that? Oh, huh, I see. I sometimes use Lember without really thinking about it. That's what you mean, right? Right. I hear Pargrunen all over the world speak it. I only know what I learned in Solace. I barely realize I'm doing it anymore. If you want to learn Lember, you'll have to spend time in Solace. And that's not going to happen anytime blessed soon. Ha, right. Something like that. I'm sure you'll pick it up as we travel. It's not that blessed difficult. Oh? Do tell. We've already talked about this. I hope this isn't going to be a problem. Good. No, I didn't poison that drink. Even the rankest Nimdude walking doesn't deserve that kind of death. They clearly heard about my reputation and thought I'd do something like that. Question is, why would he drink from that cup? Yes, wanted to be the big man. Pride is one of the best ways to deliver poison. If he was a real hunter, he'd have studied his target and known what I was capable of. Lucky for me, he was just a tourist in need of a good reminder. More often than you think. Someone's always trying to get a reputation by going after people who have one. Turns out those of us who have a reputation sometimes came by it honestly. What do you need? Well, I'm one of the very few people who spends most of their time out in the wilds and haven't gotten themselves killed yet. I know the difference between hay bleed toxin and high tox bloom, which is something you should be really thankful for. And you know the Balrog and the grinning Balrog? Probably the meanest living thing out in the wilds. Just as soon tear you apart as look at you. I am one of the few who have seen a Balrog and lived. Mostly because I had the brains to run the Dragu out of there. We're gonna get you where you're going, Envoy. Alive and with as few blithe-tail bites as possible. That, more or less, is all you need to know about me. Right, changing the subject. Pleasant dreams.
Vai, deixa eu ver. Já volto.
The armored mask. We dream of steel and charred earth and flame. The memory binds. Flee from her. We fear. For us. For you. Blinding light. A searing brand. We know it. We recall something, someone. You are not safe with her. We reach. The spines tear into us. We pull our hands away. But the old scars do not lie. We burned once. Burned. We know. Burrow for warmth, but the hawk circles outside the den. Steer clear of the scourging fire, or extinguish it. No recourse but teeth. The flame spreads toward the garden wall. Listen. Have care. Have care.
Interessante. Ah! Toma. Ô, Flávio. Pega habilidades de outra classe que você está jogando, viu? É, mas tem coisa pra você aumentar a vida, aumentar a tua defesa.
Not sure who lived here before. Looks like something you'd see in Emerald Stair.
Keep your guard up. You look like the type to negotiate.
What was that?
Keep quiet.
Nope. No. Let's see what you
Você tá jogando hard?
On your right.
Morri. Morri, mas porque eu fiz besteira.
Ice front. Bandits ahead.
as bombas, meu. Esse é o foda. Eu tenho que passar esse aqui, que é o meu último contrato. Eu acabo todos os contratos daqui. Daí eu posso ir direto pra lá.
Keep your guard up. You don't look like the type to negotiate.
É o boss. É o urso boss.
Quiet as the depths.
Conseguiu? É isso que eu falei, não serve.
Keep your guard up. You don't look like the type to negotiate. Been seeing a lot more bandits since the Dream Scourge has driven people out of the interior.
We got them all.
Finalmente passei. Oh, esse baú precisa de 3 gases pra abrir. Que recompensa.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
Eles não tinham que só fazer um remake de Skyrim. Eles tinham que fazer um remake de Skyrim e colocar ele em português. Não. O jogo em português para você não ter que usar. Você não tem que usar pet. Pra você não ter que usar mod e poder ter conquista. Porque se você colocar ali, se você colocar ali em português, você não tem conquista. Tira.
Here we go.
Watch your back!
Os únicos mods.
To your left!
Os únicos mods que não saem ali, os pago. Os gratuitos, tudo vira conquista.
Welcome back, Envoy. Show it here. It's a shame it had to be like this. Desperate times can drive good kith to do terrible things. Well, I'll be. That's all of the bounties. Mighty fine work, Envoy. Mighty fine indeed. Hope you're proud of all you've done. Thanks to you, Don Shore is safer for all of us. Gods protect you, wherever you are.
Hey, you could have a real future here if the Envoy thing doesn't work out.
Nice work on the bounties. Just don't get a big head about it.
Pronto, completei todos os contratos daqui. Depois eu faço essa caçador de usuário. Vou pra Terra Nova.
Hold a moment. They tell me you're going to Emerald Stair. Business or pleasure? Be careful. There's a lot of island to explore, and a lot of it can kill you dead. Fair warning, Envoy. Before you showed up, Inquisitor Ludwine barged past me. She was looking none too pleased. I didn't ask. The less I know, the better. Anyway, I thought you should know Ludwine's on the prowl. Tread lightly.
So Ludwine's somewhere out there doing who knows what. Wonderful.
Given how angry she was about Eagwolf, probably best we give her a wide berth.
You're cleared to pass, Envoy.
A primeira
Sam
missão
said to be
realmente do
leaving
jogo é descobrir
Paradise.
quem te matou.
I had no idea how tense things were with the Adirans moving in. And now we have to worry about whether the man who killed you is going to try again.
It's what most of us come here for. I only wish more of us really got one. Unfortunately, the Steel Garrote will see this as an excuse to crack down. I get the feeling they've been looking for one.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adiran soldiers.
Oh, I hear you. Unfortunately, if you're marching shoulder to shoulder, some of their stink is bound to rub off on you.
I don't like that Ludwine woman. She gives me the vreekas.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift. And that's gonna mean trouble for everyone around them before long.
Then it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
How do you know this friend doesn't mean us any harm?
So they do mean us harm.
Funny. Keep joking when the envoy starts sprouting mushrooms and attacking everyone.
Easy, Marius. Whatever this is, I don't think she has the Dream Scourge.
Well, you can't fault me for being thorough.
We're headed to Fior Messi Verno to see if the Animancers know anything about the Dream Scourge, right? Maybe we'll learn something about your condition in the process.
Right. When it comes time to deal with Animancers, you two are on your own.
Most fun things are.
They could stand around and have scholarly debates about souls all they want. Gives me a great opportunity to take a nap.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is, an interesting place. It was founded about 50 years ago by a disgraced Valian duke and a handful of Animancers who'd soured on politics in the republics.
Handful of nobles, scholars, and leeches. All surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island. Right. You know, present company excluded, and all that.
Don't take it personally. Marius only does this with people he likes.
I'd say something back at you, but I'm just not feeling it for some reason.
See what I mean? It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
You don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the living lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crops. Hopefully there's nothing to that. But if there is, we'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway... You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines. Well, you came to the right place.
You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy.
I have 2 rules. No campfire songs and no hugs. That last one's non-negotiable.
I hear wiggle room on the singing.
If we're done being ridiculous, we should get some rest. We'll be in Emerald Stair tomorrow.
Good to have you with us, Marius.
Right. Go to bed before you violate the hugging rule.
Those dreams seem to be getting worse. How are you feeling? Yeah, I've watched your form as I've gotten to know you, and it's excellent. You're smaller than I am, but I picked up a few tricks from seeing the way you move on the battlefield. I'm happy to return the favor if there's anything I can teach you. Some of that is sheer stubbornness, but I can give you some pointers on your stance, too. That's it. You got the hang of it. I look forward to seeing what you can do when we get back out there tomorrow. In the meantime, get some rest.
Peguei mais 2 pontos de constituição. Ver se eu consigo pegar mais força.
Is it just me, or does the... Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be. Oh, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away.
Not the same way adherents do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Yeah, and that's the part I like to leave to people with your predisposition. If you get up in the night, don't wander too far.
Vamos sair do acampamento. E vamos chegar.
Oh, would you be a dear and help with these orphans? Please.
Let's give her a hand.
Don't get too comfortable. More are on the way.
Você viu o Ariel reclamando do jogo? Porque ele não conseguia quebrar madeira?
Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? Sansa? Absolutely not. Cute as a button, but he's so high-strung. I pursue my own academic interests. Interests that require the vase in the ruins. And a ladder. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned.
If you keep encouraging her, she's going to climb you.
Watch out, Envoy. She seems to have a thing for you.
Careful, darling. I already have a lover. A good one. Skilled with his hands. He always carries a ladder. But, sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fjord. And I need this vase now. Oh, you will? My. You're a looker and a doer. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 faces that don't require going into some ancient ruins. No one listens to me.
Take your best shot. Arms up.
Take a moment, people.
Pronto, tem uma missão. Tem uma poção. Oh. Eu vou te falar uma coisa, sobe o farol. Farol você vai fazer uma... Ali no porto onde você tá, você sai, você vai à esquerda no porto. Indo à esquerda você vai no farol, você pega o farol. Lá você vai achar uma luva do arcanista no topo do farol. É, acontece esse bug. É, mas daí você pode ver lá no... Você pode compensar isso aí, olhando lá no diário.
Darling, you are aware I can see you digging through my things, aren't you? Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the face down, but alas. Thankfully you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdut.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Oh, trust me, my love Quilici has told me so many times, but I cannot resist. How could I ignore a vase like this? Think of all the secrets and memories it holds. Just one, and I didn't find it. But that's a story for another time. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I've a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, Godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
That's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind.
And of course I forgot a ladder. Wonderful.
Is that all you got? Watch yourself. We make a good squad. Granted, I don't come here often, but...
Listen, Kai, I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a ballerina.
Passei pro nível 2 da armadura.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got cooking lessons in solace, but you don't see me making beetle mash every night for dinner. The bears out here can hear a snapfly dropping soccer from across the stair. You don't want to get eaten, you need to walk soft.
Passei pro número 2, passei pro nível 2 da armadura. Passei pra armadura decente.
That is different. Bear's natural prey doesn't...
More of this stuff. Has anyone figured out how to get rid of it?
You told
As if
us
people
that
weren't
animals
hungry enough.
saved our crops, and now look, spoiled on the vine. Zareks won't even touch them.
What do you mean that's all you've got? Last week you said they would be great.
I know what I said, but we only have so much to go around.
You showed up at a bad time. Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giata's about to tear that poor man a new one. One of our animancers. She's bright as a spark, but a mite confrontational. She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giata's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. Look around. The town's overgrown, the crops are dying. What's not to fight about?
Just take a blessed day look outside. Doesn't take a genius to see this place is rolling downhill.
The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to find some local.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when animancers fight.
Pega esse aqui. Você não joga nada no chão, ou você manda direto pro acampamento, ou desmonta. Não tem necessidade de jogar direto pro chão.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfair of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. While they theorize and do nothing, the sickness spreads. But worry not, envoy. The Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adirian interests when the time comes. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Spirits are truly wonderful. Powerful, self-aware, and reach with insight.
Insight, you say?
Come on. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge.
Giata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us.
Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure she didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell her about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. If I don't have your trust, I am determined to earn it. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Chiata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Mesiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Chiata is an outcast.
It's a bit too soon to tell.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Mesiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
Illegal.
I'll find us another bedroom.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. Because they're cowards. To them, I'm just a cautionary tale. A fallen animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise, they should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior Messiverno. Forever.
You may not see it from this vantage, my dear, but you have outgrown these walls. I always knew this day would come, just as I knew how much it would pain you. Please, Just leave. That's all I ask.
Quilici, I will make you proud. I promise.
Once again, you missed the point. You have made me proud, Giada.
Thank you. I'm ready. Well, not ready. We have a few loose ends to tie up first. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the Animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Don't worry. Ignacy can't banish us all. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. I'd rather not speculate until we have more data. If you have questions, I'm sure the others can answer them. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial envoy, research assistant. Who knew?
Careful! I will get thrown out of the pub!
When did that happen?
Confounded machine.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone else discover this.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giata.
Have you ever stopped and listened to her? She
I'm sure her mother and father were onto something.
Oh?
Look what happened to them.
I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. More than most, but less than I would like. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Yes, her theory of the dream scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a stronger power source. Copper allows greater power modulation through shaping, but Adra has the potential to store more essence. I could use a large single block of Adra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
Well, let's go. That Atragon's heart isn't gonna yank itself out.
Agora vamos fazer o B e C. Vamos pegar B e C e depois vou dar uma parada e continuo na próxima. Vamos pegar as missões B e C.
I really don't think you can deny that everything wrong in Fior obviously comes from using animals.
In the past week. How am I supposed to live like this?
Those are no ordinary farmhands.
A godlike in Emerald Stair. Well, maybe our luck's improving. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Try and use their names, if you don't mind. It builds their confidence. As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
Oh, and what do you use for fertilizer? Other corpses?
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly. Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong. Giata Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? That's our governor for you. Self-righteous even in his own ignorance. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put the poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has come. Thank you for understanding. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a Revenant then. She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
The great mystery is, are godlike blessed or cursed? The gods are silent on this question.
Neither. They just are. Anything else is speculation.
Ah, I hate speculation. I want answers.
Did you hear that Giada was sent into exile?
Wonder if she needs a new research partner.
Or maybe a test subject?
We could do both. Anything to work with the great Giata Castel. Yvette, look what I found! A genuine godlike.
Oh my gods, Remy, it's finally happening.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
It's just that we've never met a godlike before. This is a big day for us.
Giata must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giata needs to finish her research. Deal?
The information wouldn't be worth anything if we just gave it to her freely, now would it? Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky. Forget what I think. Let's keep the focus on you. Tired of being remarkable? Interesting.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? Weren't you?
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Oh, didn't anyone tell you? Well, this is awkward. Shame you had to learn it from us. Do you have an answer or not? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giata wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
There's no cure for the Dream Scourge, much in the way that there's no cure for an avalanche.
Giata will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start. Trust in animancy to always find the most complicated way around a problem.
It would have to be a very ancient pillar. Giata would know the details. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Ugh, I might have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed? Envoy? That was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, My method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. I don't know. In my experience, it's always the snake you don't see that bites you. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Companions? It's just Kai, isn't it? As you know, Kai and I have worked together in the past. It's a blessed miracle he never got me killed. On it. Until next time.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood. I wish I could say the same. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth. You make the wild sound downright peaceful by comparison. I'm impressed at anyone who can survive that, or break out of it, like Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Sometimes that just makes it easier.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Wait, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side.
E vamos ficando por aqui.